Hi, this is Madmaxed again with a raid video, and today I'm going to go over Scyl the Drake and how she can actually help you beat the Doom Tower Nether Spider. There's a lot of these champs that can do the Nether Spider that can solo it. There's a lot of champs that can solo, you know, oh, you know, the Scarab King, all of them. But I have people, they've been playing for several months and they're like, I can't beat Nether Spider, like on level 40 of Doom Tower normal. And so this is for like beginners to intermediate players now. Everybody at 6 months gets Scyl. And you'll notice she's got really old crappy gear on her. This is gear I got from way back, because I've been playing for about 2 years now. I've been a free-to-play player. And if you will, hit that little subscribe button on the side. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Leave me some comments, and I'll get back to you on it. But she is just, it's just like, it's like everybody, you'll get a new champ. You'll start gearing them up better. And you'll forget about a champ just like her, and you don't put better gear on her. So you kind of think, well, she's not as good as some of these other champs I got, but she really is. She's really a great champ, but even a great champ with only decent gear on her is only going to be good. It's not really going to be great. So let's look at what I got on her. And it's all blue stuff, you'll notice. I mean, it's just like old stuff that I got from doing Dragon when I first started, and it's not a whole lot. She got 2 rows in the crit rate. She's got no extra defense in this. It's just a blue piece. It's not a great piece. It's a 5-star piece on top of that. This is 6 rare, but it's nothing great about it. It's got 2 rows in the speed, got nothing in the defense. It's got an attack subset, which is useless for her. She got a defensive, she got a 5-star, for the shield. She got no defense in it. She got 2 rows of speed in it, but it's got no crit rate in it. It's got no defense in it. She got a crit rate glove on. I don't use crit rate gloves anymore. I haven't used crit rate gloves in a long time. I get my crit rate from everything else, from the substat, and then what I do is I put a crit damage glove on, and that gives you a lot more damage. So if she had a crit damage glove on her, and I would really take off the perception gear. I realize it gives you 5 more speed, but I put a good resilient set on her, because that's going to give her 10% more defense, which would give her even more damage. So you could get her damage up probably 30 or 40 more percent pretty easily. But she has no crit. She got no rolls in the crit rate. She got 3 in a flat stat HP, which isn't great. But it's a 60%, defensive piece that I had back then. It's got a 5-star speed set on it. It all went into accuracy that I didn't care about. Nothing went in crit rate. And then, of course, she's got a resist banner on, which it's only a 5-star piece, but it had 3 rows that went into the defense and 1 went into the speed, which is good. But she's only got a 5-star, crit banner. She's got a defensive, 1 row went into it, 2 went into the HP. It would have been better if it had been opposite of that. But that's what it wound up with about when I did it. And I've got better gear and I can re-gear it better. It's just a matter of the coins. And, I don't care who you are. I've got so many champs laying around. I've got several legendary champs. I've always been a free-to-play player. And I still got several legendary champs laying around that are at 50. And they're not even geared hardly at all, because I just don't have the coins. And because you're working on things like, right now I'm working on finished up Faction Wars. And it takes a lot to get all this stuff up, where you get all the masteries done, the energy that's required. I mean, you don't get enough energy to do all the masteries. A lot of times you'll see me sometimes, I just get the basic masteries done at the very top, and I don't get them all done because I'm trying to work on Faction Wars or something, and I don't have the energy, because I'm trying to build my. I'm actually on my very last faction war. So anyway, I took the typical offensive for the increased crit rate, crit damage, and go straight down the line to get War Master. I did the defensive line. If I were going to do her in Doom Tower, and I was going to do her in like Doom Tower hard, of course, I would have the extra speed because she would need the extra speed. She's not fast enough. But but it's a typical the defensive line because she is a defensive player. Now, as you see, her accuracy is 158. It's not great, but she's got 208 on the resist, which will just get you through. It'll get you through Doom Tower normal with about that, where you're not going to get stunned, you're not going to get poisoned. It's enough resist for that. It's not enough for hard. Her crit damage, like I said, is low. It's 142. I mean, most of my characters over 220, so her speed is 204. That's pretty good. Yeah, she needs to be a little bit higher than that for like the hard, but we're not doing hard. We're just doing normal for people to show, like if you're a beginner or intermediate player, this will get you through. She got 4,300 defense. The attack doesn't matter, and she got 4,500 on the HP. This is not hard to get. I mean, these stats are really easy to get. I mean, you should be able to get that with no problem at all. Now, her skills, she attacks one enemy, has a 20% chance. Of course, it's 40 when it's booked, placing a 30% decreased speed for 2 turns. She also has a 30% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter, 50 if you book it for 15%. See, her attack damage is based on defense. So you don't put any attack on her at all. You don't care about that. You attack all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Damage still based on it. So you've got a 35% chance each time, which is not 70 because it's still 35 each time. So it's like about a 70% chance that she would stun somebody with that attack. Now, she revives an ally with 50% HP and places a 50% ally buff on them for 2 turns. And that comes in handy if for a reviver. If you don't have another good reviver, she's not a great reviver because she doesn't do multiple revives. She doesn't, like Ursula does real well. She revives. She's got like 75% of the hit points, 50% of the turn meter is already up. I mean, she's a much better reviver. But anyway, it's a nice extra added skill in, especially if nobody's dying much. But she heals all allies by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn, and also places a 30% speed buff on an ally for 2 turns every turn. Now, if I were going to sit down and rebuild her for a party, it would be relentless gear because she would get a second and third hit sometimes, and she would be healing the party a lot more instead of using the lifesteal gear. But if you're going to be soloing with her, you're not worried about the party. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to run Doom Tower with her, and I'm going to run Nether Spider. This is Nether Spider 90. And I'm going to take, let's see, I already did a team set up for it. This is a piece of garbage right here. It does decrease the defense. It does have an aura for that. It has no gear on it. And, so it's just something to go in there and die, but as long as it's in the lead, it still gives you that 25% extra defense, which will also boost up her damage by that too. So, and she does hit fairly hard, guys. I mean, that's the thing about it. Here you go. This thing's going to die quick, and I've got the revives turned off, so it's not going to get up. I just put something in to have the lead, so to give it the message and the warning. You're going in without a lead. I'm like, okay. But see, she's doing around 24,000 points worth of damage. with that 8-1. That's not bad. You've got no drop defense on here, with her, there she's doing some decent damage, 27, almost 28,000 right there. You, and when you go into Nether Spider too, guys, if you're new or intermediate, do not take somebody like Deliana in there. Nobody that has an 8, you don't want Bellinor, or anybody like that. Anybody that does, you can take like somebody like Bad L, or you can take somebody like Mordecai in. Mordecai is really good, but he places that burn with his A3, but he does not do damage with it. It just places a burn. If you damage the little spiders with an AOE hit, what's going to happen is it's going to heal the mother spider. So you cannot go in and and target these. It's like her Wings of Fury. They usually just get off by default anyway. But you see, she hits and she heals everything back up. And she's doing decent damage for something. I mean, 58 for a normal, 15,000 for the other one. 73,000 points worth of damage. But this is going to take a little while. I'm going to break it here. I'll come back when it gets close to being finished. And we're back, and it's getting close to where it's almost finished. It's a 13-minute run, but it's a solo run with somebody that's not a real big damage dealer. There's no burns. I mean, somebody like Mordecai in a group, those burns on all the little spiders and stuff. But still, she wound up knocking it out. And, 5.1 million. See, Bloodlord was just there to die anyway. But it took 13 minutes and 115 turns. It's not great, but, it'll get you through. And if you're having trouble with Nether Spider, then, it can do all the Nether Spiders on the rotation this week. And so, it's just a champ that people overlook. They overlook her. They don't realize how good she can be in situations like that. I mean, I've used her in a lot of different of the Doom Tower things, but I've got crews that are set up now. I don't use her because I got a crew that's set up that will go all the way through that, because you need somebody that does crowd control, and her crowd control isn't 100% where the other ones I do have. But she's still a really good champ, especially if you're struggling with normal Doom Tower. She can benefit you all the way through normal Doom Tower. I don't think, I don't think I would use her in the hard Doom Tower, but, unless